Hey, what's up? What's up? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Rico, aka RockStarrFX here, back with another live trading session for you guys. And this one's actually it's really cool because there's a few things. So a few things are happening in this video, and that's why I felt like I needed to absolutely upload this one. Number one, this was actually my first $300+ day trading the Nadex 5-minute binaries, which is a pretty big milestone in my opinion. $300 a day, for a lot of people is some great full-time income. Not necessarily back where we were before. If you guys remember some of my older trade sessions on the other brokers and platforms, we were making way more than that. By the way, guys, if you haven't already done so and you're brand new to my channel, go check out some of those other trade sessions because we were just slapping the markets left and right. But this is actually a pretty cool session, and honestly, I feel like this whole Nadex, live trading Nadex, series that we kind of got going on here is cool in general because you really get to see the progression of somebody who already has experience in trading. A lot of the times, when we come into trading, especially when you're brand new, you look at some of the more experienced people and you're like, that's awesome that you were able to do it, but you're already at that level, right? You're already making that kind of income. And what you're seeing here is you're seeing me actually go back as someone that I came into Nadex, completely wiped my slate clean, brand new. Yes, still using my same strategy, but it was a lot that I had to learn, and it was almost like I was a baby to the platform. Now, when it came to trading the Nadex 5-minute binaries, it was an absolute completely different ball game for me. And even though I was taking 3 to 5 minute positions before on some of the other brokers, trading Nadex 5-minute is completely different. Like, it is not the same. And if you guys have traded it before, then you know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. But this is actually a pretty cool session because aside from the fact that obviously I hit a pretty big milestone for myself in this trading session, what you guys also see is at the beginning of this session, you saw me go back multiple times. In fact, I'll bring the screen back for you guys, but you actually see me go back and look what I'm doing. That's actually not me marking that up. What I'm doing is I'm actually studying. I'm studying and I'm implementing while it is that I'm learning. So I actually have been looking for the volume profile for a very long time. I found that a lot of the scalpers that I watch on YouTube, on podcasts, the professional ones, the stock option scalpers and stuff like that, a lot of them talk about the volume profile, and I've never in my life really used the volumes before. But I went on YouTube and I almost spent about a week and a half trying to find, between YouTube and Google, trying to find content or videos of people that can teach me how to use the volume profile. I see all these people using it, but no one really explains how to use it. And it was so crazy because I almost gave up on it. And I'm like, man, I'm just never gonna get this down, so on and so forth. But what's absolutely crazy is that I found out that in the academy that I'm a part of, one of the educators on the platform actually, that's all she trades is the volume profile, and she has a full boot camp for it. Now, this is so crazy because I feel like it's one of those things where, I don't know if you guys can, I'm a firm believer, man, everything happens for a reason. And it's one of those things where I wanted to learn this thing so freaking bad because I felt like it could really be a game changer in my scalping on Nadex. And I went a whole week of trying to find it, and I could not find it on the internet. And then out of nowhere, on our live training session site, where all of our educators go live and they tell you when they're trading and stuff like that, we have a banner of like the top streamers for that week. And she had popped up, this educator had popped up as one of the top streamers for the week. And I've heard her name before, and I also know that she was mentored by one of my trading mentors. So when I seen her pop up on the top 5, I said, oh, that's interesting. Let me check her out. Probably one of the best decisions I've ever made because coincidentally, that's all she trades is the volume profile. That's all she uses. Man, I don't know if you guys can tell how exciting I am even speaking about it, but I was even more excited when I found it. And I spent hours upon hours studying, literally like 3 days, 4 days straight of just rewatching the boot camp, rewatching the boot camp, back testing it, looking if I can identify it myself in the markets. And then as I was trading, I also had her videos pulled up as well. You guys can't hear the audio, but she's actually talking in the background. I'm actually listening to it. But it's just absolutely crazy, man, to see someone like me that, again, and hopefully you guys, enjoy this kind of content, but someone like me that already has the experience, that's already done very well in the market, still come back, number one, be a student of the markets, because I always say the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. We always have room for growth, but be a student, and not just be a student, but kind of start back at zero, like a lot of you are here that are brand new. Now, obviously, I do have some advantages, over people that are absolutely brand new, because I know what I'm doing in the markets. I understand the markets a little bit better. and I have the money to go ahead and fund an account. But when it came to the strategy itself, I was completely blind. I wasn't sure what to look for in the strategy. And as you guys have probably seen on the last Nadex video that we uploaded, the 5-minute binaries video, I started to introduce you guys to the horizontal volume profile, which again has absolutely changed the game for me in trading the Nadex 5-minute binary. So let's get into the session. Let me show you guys exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So as we mentioned in the last video that we were trading, I do have both the 5-minute and the 1-minute time frame up on my screen. The 1 minute I have the Heikin candles on, and I was just really testing it out. I was testing something out. We're about to place this trade right now, 5 contracts into it. There you go. So the trade is placed. We just went ahead and implemented or executed that trade. And why I executed, or what it was that I was looking for, is I really wanted to see that 1 minute come up around, come down, and retest at the top of that extreme level of the volume profile. So that blue line is actually one of the extreme levels of the volume profile. Now, if you guys see in the past, right before it came back and retested where we're currently at, it also retested that in the past as well. This is something that I learned from the actual academy that I'm a part of and watching the bootcamp and the videos of how to use this volume profile. So I started implementing that on the 1 minute, and it's been an absolute game changer. Now, one thing that I did notice, if you guys are familiar with my strategy, you know, the 3-step setup and everything like that, then you know that I usually get my markups, my analysis on the 5 minute, and that includes indicator confirmations. And then what we'll do is we'll scale in to the smaller time frame and get the entry on the smaller time frame. So that's why on the 1 minute, there's no indicators up on the 1 minute. What I eventually found was, though, is that getting that stochastic cross on the 1 minute actually turns out to be a lot better for scalping Nadex than getting the stochastic cross on the 5 minute. So as you guys see right here, everything was looking good on this trade. By the way, we got the retest back on that, you know, that extreme level on the 1 minute. If we're looking over to the 5 minute at some of our indicators, you know, we're at the bottom Bollinger Band. Our DMI, you know, flatlined and it's pointing up a little bit, and we got that stochastic cross to the upside. Now, even though all the indicators are looking good, the reason why I say the 1 minute might be a little bit better is because if you guys notice, I'm setting profit targets on all of these trades, but none of them actually hit profit target. Instead, they just expire in profit, which is not a bad thing. Like, to expire with the full amount that you're looking for is not bad. But I prefer to just scalp the 5-minute binaries instead, because we know that sometimes you'll be in some crazy profits on Nadex, and then out of nowhere, it just drops down and you end up losing the trade. And I don't really like to take that risk. So when I'm scalping it and when I'm utilizing this strategy, I'll get all my markups and analysis on the 5-minute time frame. But what I do is instead I have the stochastic up on the 1 minute, and I wait for the stochastic cross on the 1 minute to shoot up. And a lot of the times that 1 minute cross up is going to be, I don't know if you guys can see it, but right around here, I'll zoom in for you guys. Right around here, you get that huge push to the upside. Boom, it shoots straight up. I would have probably been in. That would probably have been the 1 minute cross right there where it shot up. And then as soon as it started to approach that second price, that strike price above, it probably would have taken me out in profit right there on the spot. So I would have hit take profit right there. And we wouldn't have to have worried about holding this trade to expiration with the possibility of actually losing it. So as you guys can see, we are about to clear in 5, 4, oh, there you go, boom. And actually cleared. So it actually did hit take profit. But again, I was better off just holding that to the very end. Even though we hit take profit in the last 5 seconds. I don't even think that should be legal, by the way. That shouldn't be a thing. 5 seconds left on the trade, man. Just go ahead and, you know, hold it. But look at this. This is my exact point right here, guys. So look, as soon as we went and cleared that trade, look how the markets just completely flipped on us and just drops straight down. So this example right here is exactly why I like to just take profit on those 5-minute binaries instead of holding it all the way into expiration. Prime example, guys. Again, just don't get greedy. You know, if you got a good risk to reward, you know, kind of a risk management, not even risk to reward, a good risk management strategy, whereas you know what it is that you're looking for, you know how much you're looking to make and how much you're willing to risk per trade, then scalping the Nadex 5-minute could be absolute game changer for you. If you're that kind of trader, some people aren't, so I don't know. This was actually a much longer session. This is one of the more longer sessions, so we're gonna have to chop this up a little bit, but I think I was on the charts for almost an hour, and you guys know I really don't like to be on the charts for that long. I think 45 minutes, 50 minutes is probably, you know, that cutoff time for me before I start to lose my mind and go crazy a little bit. But we were on for the full hour here, so it's a little bit longer. As you guys see, we're about to get into another position here, and this one is actually the same exact thing, man. So, you know, we're looking for, again, that point of control, you know, bounce or extreme level bounce. On this example, we're looking for sell, so we want to see it bounce to the downside, right, to the bottom side, and then get all of our confirmations on the 5 minute. So if we're looking over to the 5 minute right now, you guys can see markets were coming down, which means, you know, we're getting a nice little down push. Comes up, bounces off of that middle Bollinger Band, makes its way down, okay, breaks the 200 moving average, which on the 1 minute we're already below the 200. So, you know, markets are pushing down. All right, DMI already pushing down with the extension as well. And then in a few minutes, you guys are going to see I pull up the actual volume extremes on here as well, the volume profile, and you're going to see that we're actually at point of control as well. So you're going to see that it broke down to the bottom side of the point of control. That blue candle right there in the middle, that blue Heikenhashi candle in the middle, was actually it pulling back up, retesting on the bottom of the point of control, and then that's when we went ahead and we entered for that nice drop. And what you guys can see right here, again, we are in some good profit. So I go ahead, I set the profit target. Now I do also want to remind people that the P&L that shows on the bottom of your screen is not how much, like it doesn't determine if you're winning the trade right now. What that is showing you is that if you were to pull out of the trade right now, what your position is worth. So for example, if I were to exit this trade early, all right, and let's just say I wanted to minimize loss because I think that the markets are actually pulling back and I'm gonna lose the actual trade, I can choose to exit early if I wanted to. If not, all right, I can hold it to expiration, or I can exit early with some profit. So right now it's showing us that we're about $40. Our contracts are worth just about $40 right now at this moment. If I were to pull out of the trade right now, that is what I would be looking to make. That's not the determining factor of if you're winning or losing the trade. A lot of people actually message me and they're like, hey, you know, I was in profit the whole trade, but for some reason, you know, I still lost, or it was red the entire time. That is just showing you what your contracts are worth now. If you ride it to expiration and you're in profit, then you are good to go. Okay, so now that I pulled it up, let's take a look at what it was that I was talking about, guys. So right here, you see that yellow line going right across. That's actually our point of control. So as you guys can see, the Heikenhashi broke to the downside, comes up, retested that point of control, and continues to drop. So that's what I was talking about. It wasn't on the screen before, but I do remember actually trading this, so I know that's exactly what happened in this situation. So hopefully you guys are starting to notice a trend, or how it is that we're using the actual volume profiles and getting that nice retest either to the top or the bottom. And wherever we're retesting at, like for example, if we're retesting to the bottom side, we're looking for sells. If we're retesting to the top side, we are looking for buys. That trade just cleared, by the way. Euro JPY cleared. A little less than a minute left until take profit, but we went ahead and we cleared that trade with some nice profits on that. So that is 2 for 2 for this session. And things are looking lit, man. Things are looking lit. Trade number 3, we actually took an L on this one. Yup, that's right. We took a loss. After just gloating and making myself sound like the absolute GOAT, we follow up with a loss in the markets. Look at this, guys. So I actually accidentally placed that trade. So I don't know if you guys noticed this, I was trying to put 5 contracts on there and I missed it. I accidentally put 1 contract and I think I hit the enter button. I don't know what I did there. I don't know if my hand slipped or what, but I accidentally placed the trade with 1 contract, and then you see me contemplating putting 4 on it. But I'm like, you know what? Do not do it, Rico. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't put another 4 on it, because you don't even know where this markets are going. Then on top of that, I didn't get the stochastic cross. So even though we took an L on this trade, this wasn't necessarily a trade that I was looking to get into. I accidentally placed it with 1 contract on there, and it just screwed me up completely. Now, on the bright side, because there was only 1 contract on this trade, we did actually end up losing it, and we didn't lose through expiration. I actually pulled out of the trade early. So this is another thing, you know, of having that discipline of understanding or realizing, obviously, when to take a loss on the trade. So because I knew that this trade was a mistake, and I also had that idea of being that the markets are actually pulling down to that 1 minute point of control, in my head, I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to risk this, because chances are is that it could actually pull all the way back to that 1 minute point of control, and then I'll be screwed and I'll take a full loss. So what I actually do is we go ahead and we exit early. Now watch this. So boom, as soon as we went ahead and broke our strike entry, I went ahead and closed that trade with a negative $60 loss. But as I already, look, that's exactly what I was waiting for. I was waiting for it to pull back to that point of control, and it did. It did exactly what I thought it was going to do, and we still don't have the stochastic cross to the upside on the 5 minutes. So there's absolutely no reason why I should have been in that trade. And that's a prime example of sticking to your cues, man. Sticking to your strategy and don't switching up. Now, obviously, I didn't do it on purpose, But it's a good example, man. Stick to the strategy. Don't rush the process, trust the process. And as I always tell people, it pays to wait. You see right there, man, you got to wait for that stochastic cross. So we took an L on that, but it wasn't a full L. All the other trades are 5 contracts in. This was only 1 contract. And then on top of that, we didn't let that contract expire fully. So we didn't take the full loss on that 1 contract. So if anything, we're technically not down for the day. We're still in profit because we have 10 contracts cleared, 1 contract lost, which makes us 9 contracts in the money right now. So being that that entry was an actual mistake, I did not mean to enter as early as I did. I actually remained on GBP JPY and waited for my actual confirmations on this trade. And again, you guys know I like to take about 2-3 trades a day at most, but because I only put 1 contract on that loss, it wasn't really a big loss for me. So I said, you know what, let me just wait. I typically don't do this because this would be revenge trading, but because it was just 1 contract, if I would have accidentally placed 5 contracts on that, I would have been done for the day because that would have been a pretty big loss. But it was only 1. We pulled out early, so no harm, no foul. So what we did is we waited for our actual confirmations, as you guys can see. Stochastic cross is pushing up. We have the right there. We bounced off of a nice support level. We're coming back on the point of control to the upside, and I'm just waiting for a nice signal for me to go ahead and enter this trade, which is going to be a break of point of control and a blue candle. All right, now watch this. You guys see, I just pointed at that candle. I used my mouse to point at that candle because I knew I was recording this. So this is the actual setup that we're looking for right here. And as you guys can see, I'm getting that trigger finger ready. Right now, we're about to go ahead and place it. We're just waiting for that break. Blue candle, break of point of control. We already got the stochastic cross going up. The DMI is pushing up as well. So as soon as we get in, we get a nice price. Remember, you always got to check your max profit. Make sure the max profit is good. Trying to get a good entry price wise. Make sure we're not getting duped on that. And boom, we are in the trade, baby. Let's go. We came to get our money back. That's what we did. We came to get our money back. Nadex thought they were going to take us for that 1 contract. We said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So you guys can see currently we are in profit in this trade. We got in at that second to last strike price on the top. Markets are just absolutely shooting up right now. Pew! To the upside, looking good in the neighborhood. As you guys can see, I'm hesitating on placing that profit target because we're so deep in profit right now. And there's only a minute and a half left in trade. So I was going to put the profit target on there, but I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, I mean, we got the engulfing candle on the 5-minute. I actually am looking at the 5-minute because I think it's going to pull all the way back up to retest the bottom of that 200 moving average. So I am watching that as well. But we got pretty much engulfing on the 5-minute, you know, as long as that closes the way that it is. It's a pretty big candle. We got 2 confirmation candles on the 1-minute of the push to the upside, as well as if you're looking at the Heikanashis on the 1-minute, both of them are flat bottoms. Okay, so we got flat bottoms, which means strong push to the upside, which is awesome. Everything is looking good on this trade, so I'm just sitting here and I'm waiting, and we're gonna ride this one out to expiration because your boy's like, you know what? It's time to rock and roll, baby. It is time to rock and roll. And as GBP JPY makes its way to the moon, guys, as you guys can see, we are going to clear this trade. And if you guys enjoyed this trade session, make sure you give it a thumbs up if you haven't already done so. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Make sure notifications are on so that you never miss one of these trading sessions that we post here on the channel. And as always, hopefully you guys enjoyed, man. Super lit hair smacking Nadex on YouTube. This your boy Rico, aka RockStarrFX. I'm out. Peace.
Feel just like a rock star.